You know what it is! It's Taco Tuesday!
You guys are looking for that early NFT alpha, upcoming mints that are gonna be unique, innovative, and hopefully pump your guys' bags. In my last video, I covered a Solana project, Critters Cult, that minted for 3 SOL and got up to its all-time high so far at 29 SOL. That right there is a 10x in a bear market, and we do that on a regular basis on this channel with a lot of the projects that I shout out and cover. I want you guys to all win in this market, so today I'm covering a handful of upcoming projects on Solana and ETH where it is very early, but these projects have the potential to be the next 5x, maybe 10x. If you guys enjoy the NFT content on this channel and want to stay up to date with all the projects I cover, hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into it. The first project we're looking at today is KPR or KPRverse, which stands for Keep, Protect, and Reimagine. It's still pretty early on this one. They've got about 16,000 followers, but I know it's one that a lot of people are excited about, including myself, just based on some of the teasers that they've shared with us so far, giving you an idea of kind of the world that they're creating. Heading over to their website, it's extremely impressive, like probably one of the best website experiences for an NFT project that I've seen to date, just in terms of how it flows and the information and the way that they give it to you. But essentially, KPR is going to be a brand that's focusing on collective narrative and empowering storytellers. So once again, that storytelling route that I talked about in one of my last few videos about how storytelling NFTs are this new meta. Some of the key information to note, it's going to be a supply of 10,000, and they call them unique digital collectibles. Now, when we're talking about KPR, it's going to be a lot more than just a PFP project. You guys can see some of the PFP previews here. It definitely is taking some of that Riot or Valorant style art approach that we've seen a lot of projects do recently, but usually they go for very high colors, like high saturation, where KPR definitely has that kind of dumbed down a bit. It's a bit darker of a palette, and they talked about how, you know, it's hand painted asset. If over 400, I'm not sure if that refers to the traits in the collection or if it refers to some of the assets that they've shared across their site. So that's something to keep an eye on. On KPR's website, they have over 65 files of like different images, mostly the kind of landscape images that are going to give you a bit of insight, speculation into the world that they're creating here, but also like short animated videos and even audio sound bites that are all going to immerse you into what KPR is building. They mention, you know, different locations and equipment like extractors and x-rays and all of this kind of stuff that is modeled and done so well. The direction of the project obviously is going to be around storytelling, but they also describe it as a brand for the metaverse, and I think that makes complete sense given all of the various assets on their website. They describe it as collective storytelling, where obviously I think the community is going to have a huge say and input into what goes on with KPR, but they also talk about, you know, physical collectibles, a digital journey, and moving from art and collectibles to actual events, film, music, and much more, potentially gaming, but they don't mention that here. The team is obviously going to be who you're betting on and super important, and it seems like the KPR team is stacked across the board. They're all pseudo-anonymous or like semi-docs from what I've seen so far. They list their Twitters here that you guys can all check out, and then they share a little bit about their background and their experience. A lot of them have worked for VCs or pretty big studios like EA Sports and even Riot. So yeah, across the board, the team seems pretty stacked. If you guys are interested in KPR, their Discord is going to be linked on their website, so you guys can go ahead and join up on that. They haven't shared a mint date or a mint price or even a roadmap as of yet, so plenty of time to still read up on KPR, check out their website, and engage in the community. But this is one that I'm really excited for, just based on the level of effort and detail that they've put into their website. It seems like they are fully fleshing out like a real world beyond just a PFP project and having a bit of lore. There is a lot going on here, and so this is one that I'm very bullish on. Next project is Fates, and like I said, a lot of projects are going to be pivoting towards that narrative driven storytelling route, and here's another one here that is focused on narrative and world building. They've only got about 5,000 followers, so it is still very early. The story and setting for Fates is around the idea of humanity leaving Earth forever and whether, we as humans will become extinct or find a way to survive. They've talked about how this is definitely not going to be a metaverse driven project. It's going to be more focused on, sci-fi, fantasy, and story driven and really focusing on a sense of belonging for the community and what they're building. Throughout their website, you can see it is totally like sci-fi focused. They shared some teasers of the world building that is already going on, but there's not a ton of information on the project yet. A reason to be bullish on Fates is because it is going to be VC backed, and they did have a seed round that raised $6.6 million to build what they consider the Pixar of Web3. Now, being VC backed has been a really positive indicator in the market recently. I think in a bear market, people are less inclined to take risk on degen mints and anon founders. They're really looking for teams that they can back and believe in. And so Cauldron, which is going to be the London-based gaming firm behind Fates, did close that $6.6 million seed round. Mainly, I like the route that they're taking. They are VC backed, which means they're going to take this at a very professional level. They have funding to achieve what they're planning on doing. So if you guys are interested in Fates, information is super scarce so far. It's very early. They did share a link today that talks about their division. So if you guys go to this URL, you're going to do a quick survey answering a couple questions, mainly just answering it as you would, and then that's going to help you pick your faction in the end. And it's also going to give you a invite to their Discord server where they're slowly onboarding people kind of through this slow rollout. So join their Discord server if you guys are interested. Stay up to date with their announcements so you guys can get full access to their Discord. I wanted to share these projects back to back because they share a lot of similarities but totally different approaches. Unioverse is going to be sci-fi focused as well, but rather than focusing on storytelling and world building, this is going to be more on asset building and around IP licensing, which is very, very unique, particularly in the gaming industry. Unioverse is going to be venture backed by Random Games, who recently raised $7.6 million in a seed round to launch Unioverse's video game franchise. And so their co-founders have been involved in games like Grand Theft Auto, Donkey Kong, Pirates of the Caribbean, and MLB, just to name a few. So these are some really, really notable games in the gaming industry, which just speaks on volumes of the proven track record of their founders. To go even further on the team, they have world-class artists, writers, and developers who have worked on worlds like Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, and a whole lot more. So when it comes to bullish indicators, the team behind this one has absolutely crushed it in Web 2. Now the goal is just for them to take all of that experience and to transfer it successfully in Web 3. And obviously that's going to be through things like community building, which, it's very early days, but if they can nail that, I can see this project really taking off. In terms of what they're actually building, they're focusing on being the Roblox for AAA game developers. So basically, Unioverse is going to be a community-owned franchise. By holding whatever NFT they release, you're going to be part of that community franchise, and all of the AAA art, character models, music, and other assets for gaming is going to be royalty free for the community. So you're going to be able to actually use these assets and make your own creations, whether it's, building your own game, making merch, maybe comic books, whatever it is. You're going to be able to actually use these assets and resell them without actually paying any kind of royalty to the Unioverse team. Their revenue model is going to be interesting because they're going to be selling NFT hero characters. These characters are basically going to be able to be used throughout all the Unioverse games that they deliver and build in this ecosystem that they're kind of expanding out. And so that's going to be the actual NFT part that you do own. Next, we've got the network, an NFT focused on social networking. Now, this is going to be a free mint. It is going to be by Alexander42, also known as Shillin Villain. So I think it'd be hard to be in the NFT space and not know who Alex is. He's one of the most active members in the NFT community on Twitter. He holds a daily Twitter spaces where hundreds, sometimes even thousands of people are tuned in to, kind of his show and what he's hosting, where they're talking about the NFT market, budding projects, talking with project founders, etc. It is highly entertaining. I'm a massive fan of Alex's content and what he puts out there. And so this is going to be a free project that he's doing. I'm sure it's going to be really social based, you know, really high on Twitter engagement and community building, which is something that, you know, they're always talking about as being very, very important. But definitely want to keep in mind, if Alex is behind it, it should do extremely well regardless. This is going to be a utility play with a chance to actually earn passive income, which I think is the dream for any NFT investor out there. And it's going to be Naffles, which is a marketplace for NFT raffles, hence the name Naffles. This one is super interesting. I'm surprised NFT marketplaces haven't done something similar to the concept that they're building out here, which I'll explain in just a moment. So let's say the current floor price for an NFT project is, you know, 10 ETH. So let's say, you know, Azuki, its floor price is 10 ETH. Maybe you want 12 ETH for your Azuki. You don't want to sell it at the current floor price. You think it's too low. You can go ahead and go on Naffle. You can connect your wallet and you can basically host a raffle for that NFT. So as a seller, what you can do is you can set a price. You know, you want 12 ETH. So you do the math real quickly. Okay, here's the price of a ticket. Here's the number of tickets. So maybe it's 0.1 ETH, you know, the number of tickets, you put that in, and then you put the date where you want this kind of raffle accumulation to finish. Maybe it will last a week, maybe it'll be a month. And so you can set that ticket price as low as you want it to make it a lot higher of tickets, or you could do, you know, 10 tickets and each of the tickets is 1 ETH or 2 ETH, etc. So it's completely up to you in terms of how you want to run your raffle. Now, if you look at the buyer side, let's say I'm someone who wants an Azuki. I don't have 12 ETH, but maybe I'm willing to put in 0.1 ETH into a raffle just to have a chance at potentially winning that Azuki. To me, Naffles makes a ton of sense. I don't know how something like this hasn't been built out before. I know for a lot of projects that have whitelist marketplaces or they have like a native ecosystem token, they sometimes raffle off NFTs to their holders. That's part of the utility they provide. And I think Naffles is doing that, but on a larger scale where you don't necessarily have to own one NFT. You actually can just, you know, connect your wallet and do it. But if you have the founder's key, you get a lot more benefits when it comes to actually raffling off NFTs. So this takes that concept and just brings in the entire space and ecosystem to use this tool. It seems like it's going to be very, very easy to use, which I think is important. You guys can see kind of the partners for the technology side that they have here, and then, you know, their roadmap. They're going to have, you know, a native token, it seems like, affiliate reward, the founder's key, and then whitelist raffles as well beyond just the NFT raffles. Yeah, I'm super bullish on Naffles. I think this is a concept that is just going to hit kind of the degen in everyone where, you know, low entry, you can gamble and potentially hit really, really big. And then you add NFTs in there. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this one. I think it has a ton of potential to take off. Super, super exciting. And I can't wait to participate. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the projects shared in today's video. If you guys did, hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts on these and what stands out to you. And if there's any other projects you guys want me to cover on the channel. As always, follow me on Twitter at HotTacoMD for my rapid updates on what I see in the market and what projects I'm looking at, because I can tweet a lot faster than I can put out videos. That'll do it from me. Until next time, I'm out.